The resilience that young people have is not going to last if all they do is come home alone. So what we have an opportunity to do as youth organizations is essentially be the backup, and not just see ourselves as the backup for when schools are closed, even begin to proactively ask the question, are there opportunities for us to basically create the primary hubs where young people spend their time? What's happened to you since you were last in school? That was a good thing. Where have you had a chance to actually be resilient, build new skills, use those skills, make new relationships, so that we don't assume that from a deficit perspective, nothing has happened or only loss has happened. And therefore, what we need to do is to come in and fix everybody. That's one of the things that we're really going to have to be very careful about, is not assuming that everybody was broken or that a lot of kids who were vulnerable were broken and that the first thing we have to do is fix them. So the best way to not lean in that direction is to actually engage them as the connectors.
Recently, since all the COVID stuff happened, they've looked more to the youth because we're getting hit too pretty hard with school and everything, just like the adults are getting hit with work and unemployment and whatever else is going on in the country. We're getting hit too, and it's usually they're able to protect us, but this time we're having to tell them and help them navigate the process of us coming back from school and everything.
I think the adults are really supportive of youth. There's this, and there's a lot of organizations, I think, of like Connect and other things like that really just target teens. And I think that, we are the future. And so I feel like people realize that and they want to hear our opinions, because one day we will be in charge.
Of course, there's always two sides. The adults are doing good things, adults doing bad things. But personally, I've had adults who have been encouraging me to be include and participate in my community through this, and I've done nothing like this before. And just the adults who are around me, they're always helping, pushing me to do better and just to be included in my community and things.
I think there's a lot of resources and that adults are trying to help us a lot. We just need to know how to look, because we don't really know the amount of things that are out there that could help us. So we need a little bit push.
Along with us having new ideas and stuff for innovation, we also are bringing more conversations to the table than any other generation before. And we're here on a youth panel that you wouldn't have had back in the day or in our parents' generations, because this wasn't to offer. So we're able to bring more conversations to the table that need to be talked about.
They do not need to be fixed. So we don't need to try and fix our youth. That is not it. So what I brought with me today are 3 R's that I like to use. And that's build rapport and trust by continuing to have honest two-way conversations. I'll say that again, honest two-way conversations. Transparency is not something that I've always been great at, but you know what? It's very necessary. We must effectively listen to their concerns and then actively help them identify the resources they need. And I heard that from one of the youth, identifying the resources that they need based on where they are in life.
I think that youth can be big game changers. And I think of Greta Thunberg, who really was revolutionary in the climate change world. And she, I think, is an inspiration for all youth, that they can make a difference even just by doing small things. And so I feel like we are kind of just these game changers who can do things, because I think people kind of look down on us, and I think that just lifts us up.
Something that I feel like I can offer, and me and my peers, is influence, because I just said there's a stigma of us always, my generation always being our phones, but because of that, we're connected with so many different people in so many different places. So one person might think of something and be like, wow, that's a good idea. They are able to influence and get someone else to jump on it and do the same thing. So, and I feel like that's a great way to bring on change. So I could definitely offer influence and change in the community.
I feel that I have to offer compassion and a strong desire to help others. I like to have fun and play video games, but I also like to be with people and encourage them. We can show our parents and other adults new ideas with technology.
We have to identify those resources that they need based on where they are in life. And we must avoid the infamous, guess what, guys? But when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
That is essential. We cannot say, guys, because you know what? I think we immediately shut our youth down. And you're probably going to receive the silent treatment because you simply just made it about you instead of that you. So instead, we can continue to create opportunities so that we can brainstorm with our youth, just like Town is saying.